Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders enter the 2025 season under a unique mix of hope and apprehension, as fans are eager to see if Dan Quinn can continue the meteoric rise the team experienced last year. After a remarkable journey to the NFC Championship, expectations are sky-high, and the spotlight has never shone brighter on the franchise. Supporters are envisioning another deep playoff run, imagining the electric stadium moments, the clutch performances, and the thrilling victories that could define the team's identity for years. Yet, amid this excitement, a more cautious voice has emerged from within the organization. A respected insider, who has consistently provided accurate insights into the Commanders' operations, has painted a dramatically different picture for the upcoming season. The forecast is far from sunny, warning that the challenges in 2025 might be more formidable than fans are willing to consider, with a combination of tougher schedules, roster questions, and travel demands complicating what could otherwise be a seamless season. The insider's projection hinges on the concept that Washington will face a far more challenging landscape than last year, and this difficulty is not merely hypothetical. The team's schedule includes a larger number of primetime matchups, standalone games, and arduous road trips, including a unique international contest in Madrid that introduces logistical and physical complications. Unlike the previous season, when opponents were somewhat uncertain about the Commanders' capabilities, this year every team is aware of Washington's strengths and weaknesses, and they will adjust accordingly. Compounding the difficulties is the team's depth chart, where concerns linger over wide receiver and linebacker positions. While the offense boasts Jayden Daniels, a quarterback with burgeoning talent, the success of the Commanders' strategy will depend heavily on whether the supporting cast can perform under pressure. According to the insider, if early momentum is lost, the risk of a spiraling season is far higher than casual observers might predict. Nikki Jhabvala of The Athletic reinforced this somber outlook during her appearance on The Kevin Sheehan Show, where she predicted the Commanders could finish with an 8-9 record. Her reasoning was rooted in tangible difficulties the team faces, including long-distance travel, international games, and defensive vulnerabilities that have yet to be fully addressed. Jhabvala pointed out that while Washington has top-tier talent on offense, the season's structure and travel demands could sap the team's energy and consistency. This projection stands in stark contrast to the fan-driven optimism surrounding the team, and it has sparked debate among analysts and supporters alike. The suggestion that the team might struggle challenges the narrative of inevitable progress under Dan Quinn, emphasizing the unpredictable nature of professional football. Jhabvala's assessment highlights that even the most talented rosters are vulnerable when faced with adversity and complicated scheduling. The offseason narrative also complicates expectations, particularly the contract situation involving star wide receiver Terry McLaurin, which dominated headlines and created uncertainty regarding his preparation for the upcoming season. Although the contract dispute has been resolved, there are lingering questions about McLaurin's conditioning, timing, and readiness to return to peak form. For a team that relies heavily on passing efficiency and explosive playmaking, any delay in McLaurin reaching optimal performance could significantly affect game outcomes. Alongside McLaurin's recovery, Washington must address broader offensive concerns, including chemistry with quarterback Jayden Daniels, and whether other receivers and tight ends can consistently create separation and catch critical passes. Team insiders stress that while Daniels' potential is undeniable, football remains a collective endeavor, and the absence of reliable support can magnify even the smallest weaknesses, placing additional pressure on the quarterback and coaching staff to execute flawlessly under difficult conditions. Defensively, the Commanders are confronting challenges that could define their season, as their run defense and pass rush capabilities from the previous year were inconsistent. Addressing these areas became a priority during the offseason, with head coach Dan Quinn and defensive coordinator Adam Peters emphasizing player acquisitions, tactical adjustments, and in-practice execution. However, translating offseason promises into game-day performance remains a daunting task. The defense must find cohesion quickly to handle high-powered offenses across the league, and failure to generate pressure on opposing quarterbacks or contain the run could lead to a series of demoralizing defeats. Analysts caution that defensive struggles, particularly in the first half of the season, could disrupt offensive rhythm and force Daniels to shoulder more responsibility. While confidence is high among the coaching staff, the real test will come during critical matchups where mistakes are magnified, and every lapse could influence playoff positioning and overall morale. Even as pessimism circulates among insiders, the Commanders' management has signaled unwavering confidence in their approach, especially with Jayden Daniels entering his second NFL season. General Manager Adam Peters has invested heavily in maximizing Daniels' rookie contract, emphasizing player development and creating a sustainable plan for long-term success. This strategy reflects an understanding that while immediate results are desirable, establishing a foundation for consistent competitiveness is equally crucial. Nevertheless, the combination of raised expectations and increased scrutiny places the team under pressure, creating an environment where missteps can attract outsized attention. Analysts note that Washington's previous performance, particularly their near NFC Championship triumph, has elevated fan anticipation and media coverage, which can be both motivating and burdensome. Navigating this balance between confidence and realism will be key in determining whether the Commanders can surpass the challenges outlined by insiders or succumb to the season's unpredictable hurdles. The motivation within the locker room appears palpable, with veterans and newcomers alike committed to exceeding past achievements. The drive to outperform the Philadelphia Eagles, who eliminated the Commanders last season, has created a clear narrative for the team, and players are reportedly embracing the opportunity to rewrite history. This competitive focus is crucial, as opponents are no longer unfamiliar with Washington's strategies, meaning that incremental improvements and meticulous preparation will define success. Maintaining mental toughness throughout the season, particularly during long stretches of away games and high-pressure matchups, is another factor that will influence the team's performance. As fans watch practices and interviews, they note a deliberate sense of cohesion, suggesting that despite external skepticism, the players are committed to internal standards and are motivated to translate off-season efforts into tangible wins on the field. Jayden Daniels has consistently emphasized ignoring outside distractions and concentrating on personal improvement, signaling maturity beyond his years. In press conferences leading up to Week 1, Daniels underscored the importance of preparation, leadership, and fostering trust among teammates, particularly with newly acquired players like right tackle Josh Connerly Jr. His approach highlights a nuanced understanding of the mental and emotional demands of professional football. By fostering unity and focusing on controllable factors, Daniels aims to create a culture where performance is measured by execution and teamwork, rather than media speculation or preseason projections. Analysts suggest that this mindset may be critical in navigating the potential pitfalls highlighted by insiders, particularly as Washington faces a schedule designed to test consistency, resilience, and the ability to adapt to evolving game scenarios. Terry McLaurin's return to full practice has been another focal point for observers, as he seeks to re-establish chemistry with Daniels after missing parts of training camp and preseason games. McLaurin expressed confidence in his physical readiness and mental preparedness, framing the process as a natural reacclimation rather than a limitation. His perspective underscores the importance of veteran presence and leadership in facilitating smooth transitions for both individual players and the offense as a whole. The coaching staff's flexibility in managing McLaurin's workload, while ensuring his peak performance for critical matchups, reflects a broader understanding of how small adjustments can significantly impact season-long outcomes. Observers note that McLaurin's engagement, combined with his experience and talent, could serve as a stabilizing force for the Commanders' offense, helping mitigate some of the concerns raised by cautious insiders. Meanwhile, rookies like Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt are preparing for their first taste of regular-season NFL action, adding layers of excitement and uncertainty to the roster. Krosky-Merritt's journey from seventh-round draft pick to active roster contributor exemplifies the depth of determination required to succeed at this level, and his enthusiasm appears to energize the team environment. The integration of new talent alongside established veterans emphasizes the delicate balance between innovation and experience, with coaches needing to strategically deploy resources while maintaining overall team cohesion. This dynamic introduces unpredictability, as emerging players can create matchup advantages or face growing pains that impact game results. Ultimately, how quickly these rookies adapt to the speed and complexity of professional football will contribute significantly to whether the Commanders meet or fall short of the lofty expectations established during last year's remarkable postseason run. As the 2025 season approaches, Washington Commanders fans and analysts alike remain on edge, balancing hope with realism in anticipation of a challenging yet potentially rewarding campaign. The combination of tough schedules, international games, roster questions, and defensive uncertainties paints a complex picture for the franchise. Yet the dedication demonstrated by players like Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, and the newest draft additions suggests that internal commitment may offset external skepticism. While the 8-9 prediction by insiders serves as a sobering reminder of potential obstacles, the team's preparation, leadership, and desire to surpass previous milestones create a narrative filled with drama and suspense. Fans can expect a season defined not just by wins and losses, but by resilience, strategy, and the unfolding story of a franchise striving to solidify its identity and pursue its first ultimate triumph under Dan Quinn's guidance. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Devin Lloyd's arrival at the Commanders is sending shockwaves through the NFL, and fans are still trying to wrap their heads around the details of this jaw-dropping trade. Sources close to the team are hinting at a deal so significant it could redefine the Commanders' defensive identity for years to come. Lloyd, known for his relentless pursuit, instinctive tackling, and sideline-to-sideline range, brings a level of athleticism that few linebackers in the league can match. Insiders suggest that the front office pulled out all the stops to acquire him, negotiating aggressively to secure a player they believe can be a cornerstone of their defense. This move isn't just about filling a gap, it's about sending a statement. Rumors indicate that the locker room is buzzing with excitement, players exchanging knowing smiles as they anticipate the impact of a linebacker who could immediately alter how opponents game plan against Washington. Fans and pundits alike are dissecting the trade, and social media is exploding with speculation about what the Commanders had to give up to land Lloyd. Early whispers suggest that multiple draft picks may have been involved, a bold gamble that signals the team's commitment to winning now. Analysts are debating whether this trade could be the turning point the franchise has been craving, especially after seasons that left fans yearning for a dominant defensive presence. Some insiders say the decision came after months of internal scouting, analytics breakdowns, and heated meetings, with ownership finally giving the green light for a blockbuster move. The atmosphere around the team reportedly shifted the moment negotiations began, with a palpable energy coursing through both the front office and coaching staff. While official numbers and compensation remain under wraps, every hint points to a deal that could reshape the balance of power in the NFC East and ignite a new era of optimism for Washington supporters. The timing of Lloyd's trade has raised eyebrows across the league, with insiders suggesting that the Commanders saw an opportunity too perfect to pass up. Devin Lloyd, a player often described as a game-changer, had been on the radar of multiple teams, yet Washington's aggressive approach and persuasive pitch reportedly sealed the deal. Rumors indicate that coaching staff had been lobbying the front office, emphasizing Lloyd's rare combination of speed, intelligence, and football IQ, arguing that he could be the missing puzzle piece in a defense desperate for identity. League insiders hint that the trade talks involved intense back-and-forths, with rival executives visibly stunned at the boldness of Washington's proposal. Even casual observers are starting to speculate how Lloyd's presence will impact matchups, especially against high-powered offenses in the division. The buzz surrounding the move suggests that this is more than a trade. It's a statement that Washington is willing to disrupt the status quo and redefine expectations for their defensive unit. Inside sources claim that Lloyd's arrival has already transformed team dynamics in the locker room, with players reportedly feeling a renewed sense of confidence and determination. Veteran defenders are said to be taking him under their wing, sharing insights while acknowledging the immediate boost his skills bring to the field. Rumors hint at spontaneous team meetings and informal strategy sessions sparked by Lloyd's arrival, as coaches and players alike are eager to integrate his unique talents into existing schemes. Some insiders suggest that this move could spark a ripple effect across roster decisions, potentially influencing how the Commanders approach upcoming drafts and free agency. The excitement is tangible, with teammates reportedly comparing Lloyd's instincts to some of the league's best linebackers, praising not only his physical prowess, but also his uncanny ability to read plays before they fully develop. Fans are eagerly speculating about game day scenarios, imagining how Lloyd could disrupt opposing offenses and become the heartbeat of a revitalized defensive strategy in Washington. Rumors from within the league suggest that this trade might be part of a larger strategy orchestrated by the Commanders' front office to reshape their competitive trajectory. Devin Lloyd's skill set, particularly his versatility and sideline-to-sideline speed, fits perfectly into a defense that has struggled to contain explosive offenses. Insiders hint at internal debates about whether to build around Lloyd as the centerpiece of a younger defensive core or to complement him with more seasoned veterans capable of mentoring and supporting a rapidly evolving scheme. The speculation has fans drawing comparisons to some of the league's most audacious moves in recent memory, with analysts noting that the Commanders' willingness to pursue Lloyd so aggressively signals a level of ambition rarely seen in the franchise. Beyond the technical aspects of football, whispers indicate that this trade could have an even larger cultural impact, energizing the fan base and potentially attracting more attention to the team's long-term vision. The rumor mill is alive with chatter about what this means for leadership, locker room hierarchy, and the team's overall identity going forward. Some insiders are hinting that Lloyd's trade could have a domino effect, influencing not only the Commanders' strategy, but also the market value of linebackers league-wide. Devin Lloyd, after all, is not just any player. He's regarded as one of the most instinctive and disruptive defensive talents available. Rumors suggest rival executives are already recalculating their valuations, wondering if Washington's bold move could spark a wave of aggressive acquisitions in response. The whispers extend to potential future trades and draft day maneuvering, with speculation that teams may feel compelled to act preemptively to avoid being left behind. Fans are increasingly obsessed with the possibilities, discussing matchups, defensive formations, and the psychological impact on both the locker room and the competition. Even casual observers are starting to sense that Lloyd's presence could be a game changer, tipping the scales in a division historically defined by unpredictability. The rumor-driven excitement has reached a fever pitch as analysts and enthusiasts alike anticipate the tangible on-field consequences of this headline-grabbing move. Word on the street suggests that Devin Lloyd himself is thrilled about joining the Commanders, with insiders hinting at his enthusiasm during private calls and unofficial interviews. Sources close to the player reveal that Lloyd sees this as a chance to cement his legacy while contributing to a team with championship aspirations. Rumors indicate that he's already studying film, engaging with coaches, and actively participating in the design of defensive strategies that maximize his unique strengths. Beyond the X's and O's, whispers describe him as quietly inspiring his new teammates, fostering a culture of accountability and competitive fire. Analysts suggest that the psychological boost of acquiring a player with Lloyd's confidence and skill set could ripple throughout the locker room, enhancing performance and cohesion. Social media chatter supports this narrative, with fans speculating on everything from Lloyd's first game impact to potential highlight reel moments, reinforcing the idea that this trade is generating both excitement and speculation at unprecedented levels for the franchise. League insiders are reporting that negotiations for Lloyd's trade were unusually intense, stretching over several weeks and involving multiple layers of back-and-forth communication. Rumors suggest that the Commanders' management had to outmaneuver other teams vying for his talents, leveraging draft picks, player evaluations, and salary considerations in a highly strategic play. The speculation points to a mix of careful planning and high-stakes risk-taking, as Washington's executives reportedly believe that missing out on Lloyd could set the franchise back years. Analysts are buzzing about the audacity of the move, calling it one of the boldest trades in recent memory. Meanwhile, whispers suggest that the deal was finalized at the last possible moment, with the pressure of negotiations creating dramatic tension behind closed doors. Fans following the story closely are fascinated by the intricate chess game, imagining the deals, calls, and secret strategies that ultimately resulted in Lloyd landing in Washington's defensive core. Sources hint that coaches are already reimagining defensive schemes around Devin Lloyd, with speculation that his presence could open up new blitz packages, coverage options, and matchup strategies previously unavailable. Rumors from insiders suggest that meetings are being held daily to brainstorm ways to maximize his impact, with analysts predicting a significant uptick in the Commanders' defensive efficiency. The excitement extends to players, who reportedly feel that Lloyd's instincts allow them to be more aggressive, knowing they have a reliable presence capable of closing gaps and reading the opposition. Social media chatter reflects this energy, as fans debate potential defensive formations and anticipate how opposing quarterbacks might adjust to Lloyd's unique skill set. Whispered reports even indicate that the defensive captaincy could see a subtle shift, with Lloyd's leadership qualities emerging as a defining factor in how the unit communicates and executes on game days. The rumor mill paints a picture of a transformation that's as much cultural as it is tactical. Insiders are hinting at the broader implications of Lloyd's arrival, suggesting that the trade might inspire confidence across the organization, from the front office to scouting departments, signaling a new era of ambition and calculated risk-taking. Rumors indicate that ownership views this move as a catalyst, a demonstration of commitment to competing at the highest level while fostering a culture of bold decision-making. Analysts speculate that Lloyd's influence could extend beyond the field, affecting marketing, fan engagement, and even draft priorities. Fans are buzzing with predictions about leadership dynamics, potential breakout moments, and the symbolic power of acquiring a player of Lloyd's caliber. Behind the scenes, whispers suggest that the energy is contagious, with even the training staff and support personnel feeling the shift in organizational morale. The speculation creates an aura of anticipation around Washington, framing Lloyd's trade as more than just a roster change. It's a statement, a promise, and perhaps the start of something much larger for the franchise. Finally, whispers indicate that the ripple effects of this trade will be felt for seasons to come, with Devin Lloyd positioned as a transformative figure capable of altering both the identity and fortunes of the Commanders. Insiders suggest that this move could recalibrate how opponents approach Washington, forcing them to reconsider offensive strategies and account for a linebacker whose instincts, agility, and intelligence are game-defining. The rumor mill is alive with discussion of potential leadership roles, highlight reel plays, and the psychological boost his presence brings to a team that has long sought defensive dominance. Analysts speculate about how Lloyd's integration might impact future free agency decisions, draft choices, and even coaching approaches. Fans are captivated by the narrative, imagining scenarios where Lloyd's energy sparks a new era of excitement, competitiveness, and national attention for Washington. The chatter paints a picture of a franchise ready to seize momentum, with Lloyd at the center of a story that promises drama, intensity, and perhaps a long-awaited rise to prominence in the NFL landscape. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.